Upon arriving at the building for the meeting, there was another long line where people were waiting to be scanned to go into the building. Waitress scanned you to get into the building, but they were not in charge of the meeting. It was the responsibility of the city people. Once inside, the group split up to find their parents. Precocious found her mom in the usual spot. Hi, Mom. Oh, sweetie. Oh, I've been so worried about you. How are you? How's your day going? You didn't get in any trouble, did you? Her mom asked, embracing her. Her mother smothering her was the last thing Precocious wanted right now. Oh, Mom, I'm okay. Where's Dad? How is he? She knew he must be really stressed. After all, Matthew and him were close friends. He's his usual self. Of course, he's going to be a little hard on us, you know, her mother said in a low tone. And Precocious did know what she meant, that her dad would be strict on the family, making sure no one got any points on their badges. I'm going to the restroom before things start. The rules, Precocious said. Okay, honey. Hurry back. It will start soon, her mom said softly. Okay, Precocious replied and made her way down the aisle of the crowd of people in the hall and made her way to the restroom. After using the restroom, she took a moment to just sit in the stall. And after leaving the restroom, she was about to make her way back to the auditorium when she heard yelling. Men's voices, yelling in particular. She followed the voices back to their source, to a room where the door was cracked. Now, Precocious was not an eavesdropper usually, but she couldn't help it. She silently listened to the conversation upon discovering her dad was involved. We have to tell them, one man yelled. She couldn't recognize his voice. No, we don't. We could all be jailed. Then what? Another man replied angrily. He's right. We cannot ever speak of this. She recognized this voice as her dad's voice. She wondered what they were arguing over. She listened intently. Listen, each year the number of people jailed has risen. At the beginning of the century, it was just a few. Now whole towns are being jailed. Men, women, children. We must tell the people what we know while we still have a chance. Please, one man replied. No, what? You say it's foolish. We will be basically jailing our own families, whole communities ourselves, her dad replied. But there is a way out, President. There is a way out, a way to freedom, forever. Enough, yelled her father. There is no way out. If so, how come no one has ever returned, ever? He paused, then continued. This book you have is not enough proof. You've never seen this happen with your own eyes, and I would not expose my family or anyone else to lies. Expose your own family and no one else. I will not let you be responsible for the jailing of an entire town. Her dad replied angrily. She never heard him speak in such a way. I agree with him, the other man spoke. Let me ask you this, the man paused before he spoke. What happens if your family, your wife, your daughter ends up in here, and you refuse to tell them, and they never know there's a way out? What if you end up in here? Wouldn't you want to get out? There was a silence. Then her father spoke. Look, we cannot put our families in. The other man cut him off. There was a man who made it out. There were other cases as well. One man didn't go to jail at all. There's hope. We must tell. My father cut him off again. There is no hope. This book is full of lies, impossibles, false hopes. If someone did make it out, where is the proof? Where? Has anyone ever made it out in our day? No. Her father pushed the man against the wall and grabbed his collar and jacked him up. Stop! No one makes it out. With this information, you will be the end of all of us. Now quiet and tell no one nothing. Do you understand? The man was silent. Would you like me to report you to the wagers? The man now shook his head no. Good. Never speak of this. Understood? The man nodded yes. All three men began to walk towards the door to leave the room. Precocious ran to an open door next to the room her father and the men were in. As they passed by, she recognized the other men who were in the room. She waited silently as they passed by down the hall to the auditorium where everyone in the town was waiting for the meeting. Then she left the room and followed quickly, finding her seat with her mom. Are you okay, honey? Her mom asked with a concerned look on her face. Yes, Mom, I'm fine, really. She hoped she sounded convincing. The day was growing more confusing and more stressful by the minute. What was her father and the men talking about? What made it out? What man made it out? What book was this information in? There were other cases where people got out? A case where a man never even had to go to jail at all? Precocious knew she would just have to find out. If there was a way to come back, she had to know. So many people had been taken. If there was a way, she would go and maybe bring some people back. Not maybe, she would do it. She told herself, if I'm going to find that book and I'm going to find out the truth, today was sure. I'm going to find that book and I'm going to find out the truth. Today was surely a day of craziness.